podcast show. The show where you can share your thoughts, opinions, and ideas on current events, breaking news, sports, and of course, other topics that matter the most to you, me. Voice your opinion. I Think and Reflect podcast show with your boy Ricky D. It's a new month, mental health month, that is, lupus awareness. How y'all doing though? On today's show, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the NBA playoffs. It's a good one. Brittney Griner. It's a little something I can relate to, but not actually, but of course the holiday of the day. Some fun facts. And a little bit more. So, before we begin, let's have a word from a friend. What up, though? What up, though? I meant to do this yesterday, but for some reason I just wanted to relax. I usually do it before, anyhow, but my mind just was, I got a few things going on. It's that time. Most of you should need to have them on auto pay. Auto pay is a good thing because it saves you money. I took something off of auto pay and it went up almost $300. Wow. What about that? Auto pay. Boy. It was really because of some incident, I had to maneuver around. But that's TMI. But before we really get into the talking, it is Mental Health Month. And I know a lot of people struggle with mental health. Some people don't even realize it. But we all struggle with mental health. Most. I don't care if you got the most money, the most whatever. The most unconscious, because that's what we're talking about. The segment, I'm going to be going off of leadership, a little bit of discipline, but more leadership. I ain't going to go too long because I got an appointment, and I don't want to, early on time is considered late in my world, but leadership. Talk about Brittney Griner. She said she felt less of a human. But the big thing that I'm is the fact that it ain't no Bron in the playoffs. It ain't no KD. It ain't no Curry. It's them new ones, the young kids. What his name? Gilchrist. What's the guy from New York? They balling. Minnesota swept Anthony Edwards. They swept the Suns. Denver did. Brian them in. They keep saying Brian need to come on home. Well, back to where it started. Because he considered Akron home. The Cavs is Cleveland. So, anyhow, you got the Mavs and the Clippers left. That's a 3-2. You got the Cavs and the Magic at 3-2. Whoever win go to the Celtics. Whoever win the Clippers and Mavs go see the Thunder. The Pacers knocked off Milwaukee due more injury. The Knicks. So it's the Pacers and the Knicks. That might be the last time the Pacers and the Knicks had a series. That was a good series, if I can remember. That was a while ago. Unless if we had some current ones on. But I remember back in the day with Miller and you and them, they used to be a go at it. Minnesota up and coming. Denver got no Djokovic. When he feel like it, he feel like he do whatever he want. It's also while we talking about this lupus awareness. I got a family member with lupus. She does all right, but she might. If I know my cousin, she only wants you to see her one way. So it's lupus awareness. So if you know anybody with lupus, check up on them, communicate with them. That's mental health. It's a go. It's a couple of more cultural months too, like Jewish month, or History Month, or something. But I feel them because I don't know if they trying to, but that it just should be like stuff like mental health. I could get that, but when it comes to a culture, because we all humans, that's just how I feel. But mental health is a problem amongst humans, regardless of the color. Somehow, some way, you struggle with mental health. But leadership, which I'm gonna I ain't going hard in it. I'm gonna give y'all the definition and what I feel about it. I'm gonna voice my opinion. You can voice yours if you download the Spreaker app. That's SPREAKER. So you can get notifications for new and live shows. Because I am about to start going back live soon. So you need to download that app if you want to get that on the scene action. We also on other streaming platforms, iHeartRadio, other places where you can find your podcasts. Be looking out, or make sure you go like, subscribe to the Think and Reflect Network TV on YouTube at TNR TV 1021. But yeah, the playoffs, man, it's a nice one. We got some games tonight. The Cavs, the Magic. Who else playing tonight? I think Dallas play tonight. Yep, the Clippers in Dallas at 9:30. The Cavs at 7. So if them the only two remaining tournament rounds left, that's both of them probably on national TV. So everybody, most people got cable with TNT and TBS. It's the ESPN and locally, Cleveland, Ohio, we got Bally's. So you need either a Bally app or Spectrum or whatever internet cable provider you use to log in. But yeah, getting on. We still talking basketball, but it's Brittney Griner. I can feel this because you do feel less than a human in there because the way that you're kind of get up, go, move, this, that. You know what I'm saying? Prison. I done been in prison plenty of times. Almost, now that I'm of age and then been through it, now you be like, that's why I try to stay out of bull crap. I mind mine. I mind my business. I ain't trying to get into nobody else's business. Not in that form, but like they say, hey, now unless it's business, professional contracted business, that's a different story. But if I see something, hey, a fire, man, just so we don't have to worry about being in nobody's business, just don't do nothing to be somebody in your business. Put it like that. But anyhow, that prison, living in that prison life, man, she was in a Russian prison, so they might treat you totally different. Because me, honestly, I feel like prison, it's people that's in the world, the free world, it's people in prison, people even without having commissary, just the living. It's simple. Especially if you like a person that ain't really ambitious, don't have no family. You know, you might have mother, father, maybe some siblings, but no children. Prison is cool for them. Like they ain't really like they'll start messing with each other and that's how that shit happen. Not this way though. Excuse me, you know, and that's just my preference. We all entitled to preferences. But Brittney Griner speaking because she has a preference. You know, I can't. It's out of my control. We only can control what we can control. Another discipline that leads us to mentorship, to leadership. Rather, I'm looking for a mentor for the Together for one, but um, mental health that it all plays a part. But I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. Let me see what Brittany actually had to say. Okay. It just aired Wednesday night on 2020. She got a book coming out called Coming Home. It get released on the 7th. She say she contemplated suicide a couple times. She said that first week because it was a life shock. It was a shock to her. She probably didn't know what. But that's the one thing about life, man. Like when you really start understanding it, because it's a good thing and a bad thing to be what you call woke, like where you pay and you really reading. Some people just live, literally. They want they whatever habit and they just live. But she, you know, she had a life, and then for what it was, she like, I can't believe this. That's all she had to be thinking. And she say she would have did. Yeah, that's the one thing. Like that's mental health. We all go through moments where we are the might. Some people don't know, but even the people, it all depends on how you view life. That's why my theory. I done said this before. You got easy, simple, and adventurous. The easy life. You know what? Let me calm down. I'm gonna say that for the segment. Maybe I might need to just okay. Give me a second, y'all. I'll be right back. Yo, so before I go into this segment, I want to hit y'all with some of these holidays. It's a few holidays of the day. It's a few of them. Because I want to get into this leadership. It's mental health month. You know, discipline. We all struggle with that mental health, but it's public radio day. You know, since I was little, some type of way I was intrigued with media, music, marketing, all of that. That since I was a kid, I used to want to be a DJ. You know, I couldn't really do the acting thing because I always felt like, you know, some people can act. So you like, can you believe what they say? Not that, not to hate on the actors, but hey, but it's also World Press Freedom Day. So the freedom of speech, supposedly the act of being able to put what you want in your paper. That's why podcasts are so popular. It's trendy, but it's more direct. You know, um, it's not censored as much. It still has some censor to it though, but not as much. But yeah, it's also, of course, I had to talk about International Space Day. Like I ain't since a kid, since I knew it was other planets. I never thought we was the only people. So before the cartoons was cool, but when they got the man, it ain't just us in the universe. It's something like it's a higher power, so it's something higher than that power. It's just the power is the highest power ruling our world. It's other worlds. You know, if you into science, faith, facts, science, and politics, Deshaun's Marketing powered by Deshaun's Marketing for a Think and Reflect podcast. Hey, people be taking it. Hey, once the puzzles come together, the pieces, and then all you got to do is just mind your business, man. Like, just mind your business, do what you got to do, work your business, or how they say, mind the business that pays you. Because being in other people's mess, man, like, just like I tell my children, I say, hey, 3 feet rule. As long as they, or arm length, as long as they ain't in your arm space, they cool. Just stay back. Don't reach, because I'm really about peace. I ain't about war. War just keep the bullshit going. Peace to have everybody run around this bitch, everybody. Mental health wouldn't be a problem. Mental health is only a problem because things like war, like the urban community, everybody always talking about the ops. You know what I'm saying? Like, people do things to get them in bullshit. But you know what? With that, we gon' hop on in. Do you feel like you're surrounded by a world of noise, opinions, and perspectives, and it's hard to find your voice? Do you crave a space to share your thoughts and feelings on the topics that matter most to you? Then you've tuned into the right spot, the Think and Reflect podcast show. This is the Think and Reflect segment with your boy Ricky D. Don't forget to download that Spreaker, powered by iHeartRadio, to listen. Today we on a Friday, but every Thursday at 2 p.m. Or don't forget, just download that app so you can get them notifications for new and live show. But today, on the Think and Reflect segment, I've been talking all through the show. But, leadership is Mental Health Month. That Lupus awareness, don't forget that. Purple representation, royalty. Yeah. How y'all feeling? I know y'all, if you just tuned in, if you just started listening, if you skipped to this part, however you hearing me right now, we talking leadership. Man, leadership. You know how many people think they leaders, but they ain't? They might just be, nah, you're not a leader. I thought I was a leader. I feel more like a leader now in my life than I did when I thought I was a leader. Even though I wasn't leading. At one point, I actually was the leader. I was the first seed. It was some kid shit, but it was bad experiences. Leadership, though. And, when it comes to leadership, man, it's more, because, like I was saying before I made sure we got into the segment, I got the easy, simple, and adventurous thinking, because I done been through life. I'm old enough to say, damn, but I'm old, I'm elder now. I got gray everywhere, but easy, simple, and adventurous. Easy from I ain't trying to take the easy route from the beginning. I attempted it, but I always was like a hard worker, idealist. Like I'm always coming, writing down, jotting down notes since a kid. But what I did was, and like I said, I was when I got of age. I tried the streets. It wasn't me. You know, went to school. School was easy. Um, like I always tell us, man, that I can't really. It's just part of my life. That's why, like I said earlier, you have to slow down and think like what it is you really doing, cause you could get caught up, man. You out there thinking you ain't even, cause you like, hey, I ain't following nobody. You just kicking it, and you thinking you a leader, but it's all a mental health thing. Because with the traits, the easy, which come with the consequences, what I'm trying to lead up to, and it's usually that scam, white collar, some type of way. I could guarantee 75% of the people that chose to try to live easily, it came with some consequences. Simple, probably the best way to live life. But, but, because simple is getting an education, getting a good job, career, profession, whatever. Um, take a vacation every few months, like a couple months, couple times out the year. But that's a trick too. How they get us with the time. Time is an illusion. It'll set you up for failure. But it's just because we see the sun go up and down. But simple will get you through life comfortably. And you can also build generational wealth with simple too. I didn't used to understand that at first, but you can. But the people that's steering the wheel got to understand that too, and not just look at it like they just going to work. But then you kind of get stuck in the routine, and your life get kind of boring, and then you looking for outside joy. Because most people get tired of a routine. I don't care. It might be, if it's a routine that's beneficial to their well-being, then that's different. But like just getting up, going to work, like you might. That's one thing about being simple. Because if you're going to work to do your best, because that's another thing I teach my children. Strive to be your best. That way, you're getting better. Even if you might go through some type of hardship or struggle at the time, you striving to be your best, so you learning lessons in the process of. So yeah, yeah. But leadership, man, we on leadership, but that was simple. That's the simple lifestyle. Like I said, it's probably the best. But then you got adventurers where you know to do things because you got to live. You done been to school, you got certificates, you got degrees, you got diplomas, you learning different things, you studying, you creating ideas, you putting it in the work, you trying to make this, or some people lock in, but me personally, I feel like you should create and then just have different, you can know when to delegate how much time to each item, depending on the investment, the time, the profitability of it or whatever. Or you can even look at it adventurous as just living like a anarchy lifestyle where you ain't following the rules. That's really a rebel, but that's a adventurous person too. So, but them to even establish either three of them qualities, you need to learn how to have a leadership mindset, and that's where it is. It's mental health month. So it's all flowing together. And I kind of want to go in deep, man. Dang, I should have started this a little early. I might can run it though, but mental health. Like part of the setup with Together for One. I might have to do some restructuring, or I might just break it off and change the bylaws for the Together for One, because I didn't do my due diligence, my total research, because I learned that a foundation and a nonprofit are actually two different things. So I'm gonna keep the foundation because it's giving back. It's just how I'm gonna give it back. I'm gonna work it out to where it all. I ain't gotta make no other, because it's a way around everything. But the purpose is all that matters. But leadership is like the key element. I'm gonna teach them. I ain't the greatest entrepreneur, but I know where to start. Where I'm working at it, but I could teach them like tools, some of the tools, social media. Like I always tell people, even though something I'm doing might not make me look like it's got me being able to take private jets yet, anyway, don't mean it might not work for you quicker. But the thing about it is, it's legit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be patient, you can be safe, you can not worry about watching your back. Maybe if the money start coming in, but if you start making that kind of money and the wrong people notice it, it's something you doing. But if you're making that kind of money, you can get away. Even though the ones that want you gonna come get you. But yeah, leadership, entrepreneurial, but it all take discipline. But it's discipline of the mind too. Mental health. I'm gonna keep throwing that out there. But with the leadership and what I'm getting to, because it's spilling over though. But different cultures look at leadership different. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people want to be the leader, like dictator, almost leader. That ain't the kind of leader you want to be, because when you become like dictator, you put fear in people, and when people fear you, they'll try to get you before you get them. Now, if people respect you, that means y'all can still do business. Y'all over there. I always been that type of dude. I grew up on the St. Clair, Cleveland, Ohio. If you from one block and I'm from another, if I know a couple of y'all, and then by me knowing a couple of y'all, that means I know a couple of more. Like that, but that's how you get. But the fact of the matter is, I ain't about to mess with y'all. That's y'all love where the rotation go. I'm not messing with it. Like, that's y'all rotation. You gotta just respect. So like, even in real business, but I'm just thinking about my community, how they live. So I'm using true scenarios because I lived in that lifestyle. I come from that lifestyle. I wasn't trying to be I just was trying to get something, going back to how I got jumped up and played the football and didn't make it. Cause see, that's why I need me a co-host, cause I be going off track, but I be listening to, and they be doing it. You need more than a co-host. You need like that third wing over there. Because I was talking about, it's just I get jacked when I get the topic that I chose for the show get to spilling out. I just be wanting to get to it, but Yeah, because I was talking about easy, but now we to the whole purpose of the show, leadership. But it's Mental Health Month, and the Together for One, the leadership is part of the concept, and it's more focused on teaching inner city any youth. But I was gonna do the 8 to 16, but I changed it from 8 to 18, boys and girls. And the goal is, yeah, people teach them life, but you want to teach them more about life, like the opportunities that's out there if you become an individual. That's where I ask I say, do they still teach peer pressure in school? They say no. So all the children 30 and under, it might be older than that, but 30 and under, they train differently. It's all about follow, like, influence. It's not peer pressure. So most of them are not being individuals. They think they are, but you're just trying to outdo the next individual when they consider being different. Instead of basing their choice, or this is just for adults, any people in the world, instead of basing their choices off of who they feel they are. That's where the true leadership kick in. That's my opinion anyway. When you realize it's just what you feel, how you think, but also be considerate of others, because you're not the only one here. But when it comes to being an individual, that's where true leadership kicks in. And that's a mental health thing. You have to be able to sit down and I always been this way, but I always thought that I could make the money, like, because it's like you're on your own time, and then sometimes you have moments where it just come in a rush, then you have slow times, and that's anything in life now that I realized. So that's why I feel like it wasn't really wasted, but I could have used it better. So I won't mind to come after me to use theirs better. That's why everybody after me I could say they better than me. I'm who I am because just who I am. But based on where they at in life and how they living, it's better than how I chose. Like, I sometimes call myself the sacrificial lamb for me and my siblings. But for me to accept that, I have somewhat, because it's still things like man struggle with mental health the most, because like how a woman can just run to her girlfriend and kind of pity party to her, man can't really do that. Because you women, really, because you got to know who you talking to and make sure that person you talking to can really be trusted. And nowadays, it's hard to know who you can trust. That's the one thing about life. Like, if people, like I tell my youngest daughter and her friend, they always, when I pick them up from school, they be blah, 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 blah. So I say, you know what y'all should do? But it might get y'all in some junk here and there, or y'all could talk to the school, excuse me, and create a blog or YouTube and talk about what's going on around, what's going on. But I'm glad I just thought about it. I'll make sure I tell them. Make sure you inform the people before you put them in the news, just to make sure they're okay with it, to prevent any conflict. Because we want to do it as peacefully as possible. That's why, it was a situation I was just involved in about a few weeks ago, man. And I swear, the scenario looked like, man, it's just some crap that I kind of, I don't like to wish, but man, I wish I could have reversed that and caught that before that happened. But that's mental health. This me podcasting is mental health. But for me to even get on here and feel comfortable talking, because at first I had to be insane a little bit to even think, because if you talking, you ain't even got an audience for real. You know, you might can put it, because I used to do this live at first. So now I feel a little bit more confident going live because I'm in the game. I went to broadcasting school and everything, so I'm kind of like almost somewhat a veteran based off of like pro sport years. Let me get a clap for that. Let's go. Leadership, discipline. Of course, all of this takes a little discipline. So I hope I gave y'all a quick message because I got to start preparing for something else. I'm being productive. I ain't got the best, but it's the one of them appointments for the grill. So, hey, together for one. Leadership 8 to 18, teaching them how to be individuals, because that's especially as young men, the girls too now, we want to fit in. Even as adults still struggle with fitting in. Like they just got to fit in. They got to be part of something. Man, I don't want no parts of no party, no bar. You know, yeah, good. You know, peace. I'm going to where if it's sports bar in it's one of the furthest suburbs where you know it's only when you get out there it's only big homes and shopping malls or outside walking. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in the bar on Superior no more or St. Clair, or I barely will go in the bar downtown, like West 25th. These areas from where I come from, y'all. If you're listening from other areas, but man, cause it's just too much going on, man, out here. Like, don't nobody fight, ain't nobody confronting no more. Like, if you feel like somebody got a problem with you, you confront them. If you feel like somebody did something to you, you come to them. Leadership, confront them. Don't sneak nobody. Make sure you know what really went on before you just jump to conclusions, because we might be on the same side. We might be feeling the same way. But because it's an assumption involved or something of some sort, it turns into an inaction, or just situations where it could be handled differently because it ain't no communication. You got to at least communicate to comprehend. You can't just think a person gonna comprehend without communicating. Communication is key. Deshaun's Mark, we got that ad placement for y'all over there. It's going down, man. 2024. We build something over here. We figured it out. The kids Think and Reflect podcast show with your boy Ricky D. Don't forget to download the Spreaker app. Before I go, leadership, discipline. Make sure it's Lupus Awareness Month. Lupus awareness all the time, but it's Mental Health Month. But we need to do something. Get to a therapist. If you feel like you don't have no one to talk to, because it'll drive you crazy. Always thinking you can say stuff to yourself. No, because you only gonna give you the answer you want to hear. I don't care if you think you made two different things. You only gonna give yourself the answer. So, mental health, man, leadership. But before, I got this fun fact for y'all. Even though dragonflies have 6 legs, they cannot walk. What?